The problem that we are going to solve now involves the input table user nums. This table has one column, that is num, and it has numbers in it. Now, as part of the output, what we need to do is, in this sequence of numbers, we need to find out which numbers are missing, and that will be our output. For example, here in this sequence of numbers, 3 is missing, 6 is missing, then 9 and 10 are missing. So from the minimum to the max numbers that are present, what all numbers are missing, that we need to find out. That will be our output. So now let's work on the approach that we will take to solve this problem and generate this output. So to do that, we will copy the input in Excel sheet and paste it here. So this is our input. Now what we will do is, first of all, we will find which is the smallest number in the sequence and which is the largest number in the sequence, and then we will generate all the numbers from the smallest number to the largest number that is present. Okay, so from 1 to 11 we will generate all the numbers. What we will do then is, we will compare this input list with all the numbers that we have generated. Okay, so if we compare, wherever there is a match, these numbers will be present there. Okay, so wherever there is a match, we will see the numbers, and wherever there is no match, there will be no numbers. Okay, so these gaps, wherever we see the gaps, let's highlight in different color. So wherever we see the gaps are of interest to us, and those are the numbers that are missing. Okay, so this approach we will follow. First we will find the mean and max, generate the entire sequence of number from minimum to the maximum number, and then do the comparison of this list with the input list and see which are the gaps where it is not matching, and then those are the numbers which we will return. Okay, so now let's get started and work on this approach. Okay, so we will start working on this input table now. So let's from this input table, let's query now. So what we will do is, we will get the minimum number that is present. That will be our start num. So that will be our start num. Similarly, we will get the max num, and that will be our, we can say, end num. So let's run this and see the output. So we have got the minimum and the maximum number, indicating that we need to generate the sequence of numbers from 1 to 11. Now to generate these numbers, which is our second step, we are going to use Recursive CTE. So there is one video that is created for the Recursive CTE to generate sequence of numbers. There is, I will be posting the link in the description. Also, you can see the link at the top. So please visit that video as well if you have not yet visited. So that has a detailed explanation. Okay, so here we will not be going the depth, okay, as we have gone in that. So you can go through that video. So now what we will do is, we will, whatever mean and max that we have generated now, let's make it a CTE out of it, and let's call this range CTE. Okay, so now having done this, now we will use the recursive CTE to generate the numbers from minimum to maximum. In this case, it's numbers from 1 to 11. So for that, let's call it as num CTE is what we will use. So this will be our recursive CTE. So first we will write the base condition, the first row that will be there. So for that our starting number will be 1, and that is our start num. From we will be referring the data from this CTE, range CTE, which we have created, and in that the column is start num. So basically we are operating on this data. So we will take start num as our number column, and we will also keep the end num column. This we are fetching from range CTE. Okay, so this is the first row that we will have. Now we will write union all, and we will write the recursive CTE now. So what we will do is we will add 1 to this number, that is num plus 1, and let's keep the alias as num only for this. We will keep end num as it is, and this we will be calling from this num CTE. Okay, so this is the recursive call. Whenever we call, like even in the normal programming, whenever a function calls itself, we call it as recursion. Similarly here, whenever this query inside the CTE is calling the same CTE, it is the recursive CTE call. Okay, and now we will add the terminating condition, which is our num should be less than end num. Okay, so this is the terminating condition that we have added. Okay, so now what we will do is we will just see whether the numbers are rightly generated. So we will just do select star from this num CTE and see the data. Okay, so let's run this and check it out. Okay, so there is some issue in the select statement. Okay, let's check it out. What is the issue? Uh, okay, so this is fine. Okay, we have missed the as clause here. Okay, now it should be fine. Okay, so let's run this. So this is our input, and now we have generated using the recursive CTE a set of numbers from minimum number to maximum number, that is from 1 to 11, and we have kept this end num. So this is required for the terminating condition, as we have to check this number against this, the ending number, whether it is less than that. So for that we have to keep this number. Okay, so now what we will do is we will take, so this will be our base table. Okay, this, like we saw in the Excel, this is our main table now, and against this we will compare the input table to see which all are the numbers which are missing. So what we will do is, let's call the alias as n, and we will do a left join with the input table, that is user nums, and let's call it as u, and then the join condition we can give n dot num and u dot num. So on the number we are doing the join condition and checking if it is matching or not. Okay, so let's run this and see the output now. So, and one more thing, let's do one thing. From this, just keep the number, and from the other table also, from the input table also, let's keep the number, and then run and see the output. So this is what we have. Okay, this is what we have. So like we discussed in the approach, on similar lines, we have generated the data. We have generated the sequence of numbers from the minimum number to the maximum number using the recursive CTE, and then we have compared the input sequence of numbers with this whole set. So with that, now we have started seeing the gaps of where the numbers are missing. Okay, this is on similar lines to what we discussed. So these are the gaps that we were talking about. So now what we will do is we will just check if the user number is null or not. Okay, only that check we need to do. So where if user num is null, okay, only those entries we need now. Okay, so whatever data we just saw, we will filter out all the other records and just keep these entries where the user number is null. Okay, so let's run this again. So now we have only those numbers which are null. So what we will do is we will keep only the required column, that is the column from the table where the entire set is present, because this will have those missing numbers. And let's give the alias as missing number, and let's run this now to generate the final output. Okay, so this is the final output. We have generated the data and it is in line with what was required. Okay, so just walking back and summarizing what all we have done. So we have first identified which is the minimum and maximum number from the user given list. We have then generated the list from minimum number to the max number using recursive CTE. So for this, please see the video that is created if detailed explanation is needed. And then finally, we have compared this whatever generated number we have done, that we have compared with the user list, and whatever is missing, we have got those details, and that's how we have generated the final output. So please go through this video. If you have any alternate solution, please post it in the comments. And if you found this video useful, please like the video, please share it, and please subscribe the channel if you have not yet subscribed. Thank you.